And welcome to another edition of the Dawn program on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. Today is Friday and it is the Eid al-Adha to all the Muslims communities in South Sudan and also around the world probably, which is the 6th of June 2025. My name is Emmanuel Akile and I'll be right here in the studio with you on the show from now up to 8 a.m. Thank you for starting your day with the Dawn program. It is on iRadio every weekday from 6 to 8. To comment on any story that will be featuring on today's edition of the Dawn, do not hesitate. You can later on be part of the conversation by dialing 0911 or 22986 a text message on 13986. You can also stream these broadcasts live by logging on to our website, iRadio.org. Follow us on Facebook and X at iRadio Juba. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, iRadio South Sudan, to get the latest videos online. Well, صباح الخير مستمع iRadio، أهلا ومرحبا بك في حلقة جديد من برنامج الدون الليلة يوم الجمعة الموافق 6/6/2025 وعيد الأضحى لكل المسلمين. البرنامج بيجيك في أيام الأسبوع من الساعة 6 ل 8. شارك معنا بعدين بالاتصال لأرقامنا ورسالة نصية. تابعنا على الإنترنت على الموقع iRadio.org، على الفيسبوك وإكس على iRadio جوبا، وبعد تتابعنا على يوتيوب channel iRadio South Sudan. We go for this short break and we'll start our program with the Residence Report segment. Good morning.
نتاكم في جنوب السودان.
The Dawn on iRadio.
It's the break of a new dawn, and this is the Dawn on iRadio.
Welcome back from the break. iRadio. Hello, iRadio. iRadio, good morning. رجعت اتصل علينا فقرة ريزيدنس ريبورت. iRadio.
صباح الخير، إيمانويل جلس.
صباح النور.
أنا كشف التيوتي.
تفضل.
تحياتي لك في الاستديو، تحياتي لكل المستمعين، تحياتي للموظفين اللي شغالين معنا الليلة وفي الإجازة. وأنا باني برقية التعيد بتاعي لكل أمة المسلمة لحلول عيد الأضحى المبارك الليلة. إيمانويل بسلم كل الناس. أنا أصبحت في أوضاع كويس، تغير ما في مشكلة. إيمانويل الوضع اقتصادي زي ما 10 أيام له، ده الدليل إن السودان بقى في مشكلة.
تنبرة
في تنبرة. السادسة وضعوا تعبانين أمام التلاميذ. برضه كان هكذا في المدارس، في أحد المدارس هنا في جوبا هنا كان يعني بذكر بعد قبل سنة أو سنتين كان برضه حصل حادث. الطلبة جمعوا قروش في ايديهم ودوا أستاذ المستشفى ولقوا زول جعان ما عنده هيل. فإيمانويل ده رسالة للحكومة، إذا كان زول شغال 15 شهر بدون مرتب وكتب أستاذ أو عامل في الدولة ويقع أمام الناس ما أستاذ براو، ده كله أبوه عامل هسه، الناس كله تابعين. الماشي في الشارع بكلم براو البقى والبيال وكل شردوا والأنس المنزل بقوا مرتفع قادر والشاطر، يعني نسوان بقوا ما إنه اشتغلوا برجالهم ورجال قاعد بقوا ما إنه اشتغلوا نسوانهم وأهله بقوا مشكلة. إيماننا نرجع حكومة كانت ترجع بالسياسات بتاعه بناء وضع اقتصادي. هذا يرفع الأجور بتاع الناس. حق بتاع زول أنت اشتغلت 30 يوم عشان آخر شهر آخر يوم للشهر يدوق قروش بتاعك. ده حق موجود في الدستور. طبعا ما أعرف حكومتنا بقى بتحتفظ بحقوق بتاع الناس في بنوك ما بدفع قروش للناس بتاعهم لأصحاب القروش. إذا كان بقول أنا أمشي ولا بنوك أمشي صرف قروش وما في تمشي البنك ما في قروش، ياخذ جريمة. إذا كنت أنا أعمل شيك فاضي، يعني شيك ما عنده قروش تديه لزول يمشي البنك يصرف قروش، ده زمان كان بدوك في المحكمة بفتح بلاك كويس، شيك مضروب بفتح بلاك. فحكومة بعمل شيكات مضروبة للوزارات في الدولة، لازم شهر في الصفوف في البنوك ما في قروش، ده جريمة. فلما قال الحكومة بتراجع نفسه يسمعوا يوتنا. شكرا.
alright شكرا. وهنتكلم في موضوع بتاع الاساتذه ده بعدين على راديو.
يوسف أكيله.
يس.
هاي صباح الخير.
نعم منو معنا؟
هاي ده معتقد من يامبي.
نعم تفضل.
هاي راول بالا أنا بارك الشكر أنا لنا نوم كويس في يامبي هنا سبانا كويس ما في تعال ممكن أنا ببدأ مع أنا بسأل مع كل المسلمين بتاع أعرف زي البشير إبراهيم في يامبي هنا فيسبوك from هيزو ماما دبورة ماما فيكتوريا ماما تريزا وكل مسلمين بتاع هاي راديو. وانا كان دايما اقول كده جوزيف انت بعرف يا جوزيف يعني في مثل باسل في جنوب ما كويس حتى انا كان باسل زي في التومبرا قال استاذين بوقع من الجار كويس وهم بقول شنو يعني لانه طبعا بياك كلمات انا قاعد اقول طبعا مهمه بتاع استاذين بتاعهم أستاذ أو مهم في مدرسة لأنه هو يدرس زول هو ممكن يبدو فكرة كويس للإنسان لكن كان ما قد دفعه يا سبب لكن هم إنه ننزل في كلام ده كلام بطال زي ما سمعنا ده كلام بطال. هو شكرا يا جوزيف أكيله.
alright شكرا. ده ما كلام صح. موضوع بتاع المواهب يرجع لي على راديو.
صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
معك يوسف كواني لبنان.
يوسف كواني تفضل.
أنا قال صباح الخير للناس كله. صباح الخير اللي بدنا بنقوها كان جوزيف مش سكسيتا وماريا مش على بطري إنجينير موزيس جيمس دور جمان طويل أبو جاس منجان تلفوك دوكا سبيت ومني أدبا أنا كبور كاترا وأخوانا تعرض قبل شوية صباح الخير تاكل سلمون النواي وايد الناس بقوسين الناس بيجري وزراع لأن زمان تاكري الناس كله مسؤولين بفرانتا بروجو وده هاي كبر الفيلم سواء بيقول بس في كلام تانا تانا ده تانا تبدي جو تغير ما في Akile الجزء تبدي جو على جي بكرة جي مبارك تغير ما في كان في سوق ولا في أمني ولا في 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 كل يعني في جو بتاعنا.
ده وين؟
في ما يعني بلامنا كل جو في جنوب كله.
نعم.
يعني بدي جو يعني insecurity everywhere وما في يولا اللي يعني يحكموا يعني بيجيبوا تغييرات. أنا بقول للناس لا هم بدنا بيقولوا أجد كله كان في سوق ياو فوق ده تكون ياو حال لسوق كان security تكون ياو حال وانتم نايمين ده لبنو بيسهل لنا جد. أنا بقول لهم بدنا مرة ونسي بناس بيفورج جماعة تكون ما في ياو برلمان كتير بس ناس برلمان ياو كم سنيا كم سن جامعة كتير من ما قرجوا لنا حال ياو إننا خمسة بس president ما في حال ياو إننا كم وزارات بمجاتو كان جنبنا بكورة كان يعني درجة من بقر هيلو كان ده كلام بتزرع من بقر هيلو لكن حتى ستة كركدة حتى كان ده سوني كل بيجي من برا سي حال سي حياتي أنا سي عند حياتي يدنا كمان نذكر عليه حياتك مثيلة تاكي سي حياتك مثيلة تنا ما حياتك مثيلة تأجانب حتى ما ياو في بحر بيجي لنا بيجي أجانب حياتي أنا كمان بيقول هذا حياتي يدك ده حياة ما في يدنا جيجي حياتي يد أجانب. شكرا.
alright حياة في الأجانب ده لأنه أو ده هو بيقول كلام ده بسبب إنه كثير من التجارات المختلفة مستخدموا للأجانب. راديو.
هلو إيمانويل السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
نعم نجاح نسيه وسيه.
نجاح تفضل.
أولا تحية لك وتحية للتيم العامل معك في الاستوديو وتحية للأخوان المتصلين في فترة صباحية. بقول لهم صباح الخيرات
وتحية لأخواننا المتصلين في كل يوم على رأسهم أستاذ مجوك، سلطان جوزيف، أخونا كشك، فرانكو سيبيت، ديفيد ماغوغ ونصرن كراوكور وسلطان أنجلو في الرنگ وجميع المتصلين وماما ماريا. أنا بقول لهم صباح الخيرات. أنا أصبحت هنا في أيدي في كمال، أصبحت كويس أنا وأسرتي الصغيرة، أصبحنا كويسين. نتمنى برضه من الساكنين في المخيم، مخيم رقم 3 مخيم رقم 1 يكون أصبح كويسين. وبرضه بحني الأخوان المسلمين بمناسبة عيد الأضحى المبارك، نقول لهم كل عام وأنتم بخير، وخاصة الجالية الصومالية العاملة في جنوب السودان والجالية السودانية وأخوان المسلمين أبناء المسلمين الجنوبيين خاصة في الولاية السواحل الوسطى، وعلى رأسهم أستاذ هونربل رجب بندقي. بقول لهم صباح الخيرات. وهنا برضه ما بنسى المسلمين هنا في ايدي في كم، على رأسهم أخونا برضه يعني مبارك أرنياي، وما بنسى برضه الوالدة الكريمة طيبة ماما الحاجة جان جوري. نتمنى لها الصحة، دوام الصحة والعافية. أنا ما أعرف هي في نيروبي والوين، الله يديها الصحة والعافية.
نعم.
بقول لهم لكل الرجال المسلمة كل عام وانتم بخير. نتمنى لهم أعياد سعيد، وكل عام وانتم بخير، جنوب السودان بخير إن شاء الله. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا. ده تحية بتاع العيد اي راديو.
إيمانويل جوزيف أكيلي، صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
تحية لك في الاستديو التيم العامل وأيضا المستمعين والمتصلين والشاق برنامج الدون الصباحي. معكم أيزك. أصبحنا الحمد لله برغم التحديات وظروف الحياة والمعيشة الصعبة، لكن نتحملها كده رويدة لحد ما الوضع تتحسن. إيمانويل، أنا برجع ورا. طبعا الناس نسوا في كارثة نحن عندنا في ولاية بتاعت وارب. يعني أنا بالعصف شديد، أنت لو لاحظت الأسبوع المدد حتى أن الأسبوع ده في كارثة هناك كويس. والكارثة بتاع ولاية وارب ما بدأ هسي، بدأ من 2020 شهر 8. لو أي زول بيتذكر لورا، الناس ديل بيموت موت عشوائي كويس. الموت الناس ديل بيموتوا ده، هل ديل ما ناس بتاع جنوب السودان؟ ديل ما مواطنين بتاع جنوب السودان كويس؟ هل ما في حكومة هناك؟ يعني أنا بتأسف شديد الناس بيموت موت بطريقة غير شرعي. ده مجتمع بيداك هما بيقولوا للعشائر، من العشيرة دي للعشيرة دي. السؤال بيطرح نفسه، البيكيمات والأربيجيات والدانات الكبار، الناس دي اللي يقوم من وين؟ هل الحكومة ده ذاته قاعدة لشنو؟ كويس. الناس دي بيموتوا كده، الحكومة صامتة كويس، ولا بودي ولا بيجيب. يعني ده بيكون شنو؟ يعني أنا بشوف يعني المنظر ده ما بيكون كويس. يا ريت الحكومة لازم يعرف مهام بتاعه في الدولة، مهامه لحماية بتاعت المواطن ده ليه وصل في مرحلة زي ده؟ أراون ساو السودان كله كوليرا بيقتل بيجاي، كورونا بيقتل بيجاي، فيدانات بيجاي، سيول بيجاي، المجاة بيجاي، التلق بيجاي كويس. المواطن بيقتل نفسه. حتى لو لاحظت أول امبارح بومبات كمان يمشي دكان المواطنين كويس. ده كله بيرجع في عاتق بتاعت المواطن البسيط. ليه المواطن ده بيموت بطريقه ما بطريقه شرعيه؟ المواطن ما خليه يموت بطريقه 1 2، ما جاء خليه يقتله، عطش خليه يقتله. انت كحكومه لازم يكون عندك كفاءة كويس للمواطن بتاعك. حتى لو انا برجع رسالتي لكل قاده بتاع اجهزه الامنيه، انتوا لو لاحظتوا في الدوله كلهم من ابناء بتاعت الولايه، لانه الولايه ده ما قادرين تنقذوها من الموقف الفوق ده، لانه المواطنين دول بيموتوا كده. هل انتوا قاعدين كقاده كمسؤولين بتاعت الدوله عشان كل زول داير اللي في جوبا هناك ببيتات وبحراسات انه المواطنين دول بيموتوا بطريقه ما صح؟ يا ريت انه بنسمع امبارح ده القائد الاعلى او الرئيس بتاعتنا عمل عصر التجوال كويس. عصر التجول لازم يكون في الولايه هناك وخطه مقاطعه بتاعت مويهم. يعني ده ما يوحل. لكن انا بتمنى انه لازم يكون في وضع مستقر امني مستطب في ولاية بتاع وراب وانها بتاع جنوب السودان كله خلينا نموت بجوع خلينا نموت بمرض خلينا نموت باشياء اخر لكن ولا سلاح لازم يكون في نزل سلاح في ارض بتاع جنوب السودان كله. شكرا.
alright شكرا. يكون في ارضا سلاح او نزل اسلحه للناس اللي شايلينه بالطرق غير قانونية، وده مسؤولية بتاع الحكومة. لازم وده المسؤولية بتاع الحكومة، ولازم الناس يحترموا القرارات اللي بيطلع. Let's now read few comments here on our Facebook page, and we begin with Nimeri Raja. Nimeri Raja wrote on our Facebook page, happy Eid al-Adha, Mabruk, all South Sudan. Angui Ustaz is saying greetings to you in the studio and also the listeners of and writers of iRadio. And my regards to Marco Ariatpo in Juba, James Thickball in Wow. And lastly, to my uncle Kwach Kwach Angui in Juba. Young Di Yusto is saying good morning live from Ye. Greetings to the listeners of iRadio. May Jah bless them. Ngaba Angelo is saying good morning Akile. Pass my regards to the listeners of iRadio. I'm watching live from Western Equatoria State, Yambio. Peter Majog is saying good morning. Peter Majog is saying good morning iRadio and the listeners and the viewers across the nation watching live from Giada Jamus. Marcelo Girjuak is saying watching live from Newside Juba. Mabruk Eid al-Adha to all South Sudanese. Free Money wrote on our Facebook, good morning from Western Equatoria State, Yambio. My area is doing well, and pass my greetings to all the listeners of iRadio. Emmanuel, I'm wishing my colleagues success for the exams on Monday, especially my senior nurse clinical office midwives, particularly in Yambio Health Science Institute. George Richard is saying good morning iRadio. I am watching from Wow. Santa Madud is saying watching us live from Wow, and he's saying the bad thing for us here is the issue of rain. There's no rain now here for a number of months, and the cultivation season is going on, and the people are yet to farm. Nyoka Manyol is saying good morning, currently watching live from PG County Canal. Justin Kerry is saying good morning Akile, watching you live from Juba. Happy Friday. Emmanuel Ufu Mariano is saying watching live from Wow. My greetings to all the listeners, callers, writers of iRadio, and I'm fine. And Eid al-Adha Mubarak to South Sudan. Ustaz Akendeng is saying good morning to iRadio within and outside the country, or to the listeners in our residence. People are enjoying their morning as they are relaxing in their houses. From Lologo, Triple A team wrote, Emmanuel, today my concern is about the style of leadership the government of South Sudan is applying. This style of leadership will not restore hope and peace for government to please minority. It's better to please majority. Government is supposed to think for the future, or to think for the future of general election. We are tired from this style of leadership. Live from High Nazareth, Western Bahr al Ghazali State in Wow. Honorable Ayumi also wrote on our Facebook, good morning to the callers, to the callers, writers, plus the rest of iRadio staff, calling on the government to reopen the house water connection here in the country. And is watching us from Tomping. Matiang Madud is saying good morning, my warm greetings to South Sudanese people live from Kwajok, Warab State. Boston Matata is saying watching you live from United Arab Emirates, Dubai. Happy Eid al-Adha to my family in Uganda. Thanks for the show. مين رواي كتب صباح الخير إيمانويل لكل مستمعين ومتصلين iRadio، وكل عام وأنتم بألف خير. تحية خاصة للمسلمين بمناسبة عيد الأضحى المبارك، لأن يعم السلام والاستقرار في كل أرجاء البلاد. Bakunya Gadet is saying good morning iRadio, watching live from Kampala. We and my Wayne is saying good morning iRadio, I'm watching you live from Amadi Ye Road. I greet my people. Emmanuel Joseph Akile, this country belongs to the citizens, or Al Khair Johanna is saying, good morning, iRadio, to you in the studio. My area very fine. All I want to say is Eid al-Adha al-Mubarak to all Junubin, especially iRadio listeners. I'm streaming live from Wow, Haidaraja. Victor Kalakpa is saying, good morning, my greetings to the listeners of iRadio, especially my father Gordon Isaiah, Mary Samuel, my grandma Najenti Inoka, let us my mama Monica Michael, all are in Yambio. And then he's saying thank you. David Tamaya is saying good morning to you, and I wish our brothers and sisters happy Eid al-Adha, especially the Muslim all over South Sudan. I'm watching you live from Guaba. And then from Juba, good morning, my resilient people of South Sudan. This is Joseph of iRadio speaking to the nation's heartbeat, the citizens who have endured storms yet stand unwavering today. We voice a profound disappointment. The reopening of our national parliament has been delayed indefinitely. And then to His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, we say the time to act is now. Why Parliament must reopen immediately? 1. Voice of the people. Parliament is our constitutional bridge between citizens and government. Without it, millions remain unheard. Number 2, he said national progress. Critical laws on security, economy, and service for citizens. Delays cripple our recovery. And then he said accountability. No oversight invites unchecked power. Parliament safeguards transparency and justice, peace and unity. The revitalized peace agreement mandates an inclusive legislature. Delays risk eroding fragile trust. And then he said current concern stalled democracy. Extended closure signals disregard for public will. And then he said citizens see empty promises while crisis deepen. And then economic paralysis, saying vital budgets and reforms await parliamentary approval. And then he said also, in the global image, postponements tarnish South Sudan's commitment to democracy. So he said, our appeal, Your Excellency, we urge to heed the resilience of South Sudanese. Reopen parliament without delay. Let lawmakers tackle insecurity, inflation, and humanitarian needs. Honor the sacrifices of those who believed in peace and thanks. What a message there from Dud. We go for commercial break and we'll be right back.
Are you tired of the long queues while transferring money? Well, MTN Momo International Money Transfer is finally here. You can now send and receive money to Uganda or Kenya, or receive money from the rest of the world. Experience financial freedom and easy life with Momo. To access the service, dial star 200 star 1 star 3 hash.
The Ministry of Health is conducting a commemoration of African Vaccination Week with a new vaccine introduction of pneumonia vaccine, targeting all children aged between 6 to 14 weeks. Take your child to the nearest vaccination center during the African Vaccination Week or Big Catch-up campaign.
Good morning, Mama Alice.
Good morning, Mama Ladu. Where are you coming from this morning?
I had taken Ladu for pneumonia vaccination at the health center to protect my child against pneumonia and meningitis. He was also vaccinated with other routine immunization vaccines at no cost. Is baby Alice already vaccinated?
Yes, she was vaccinated last month. Does she need to be vaccinated again?
Yes, she needs to be vaccinated with at least 3 doses at 6, 10 and 14 weeks to be fully vaccinated, immunized and protected against pneumonia.
Really? I just heard from afar that there will be a vaccination campaign during the African Vaccination Week, but I was not keen enough to get the details.
You know, Pneumonia vaccine is effective in preventing pneumonia and deaths in infants and young children. This vaccine has just been introduced this year, 2025. A lot of children were not vaccinated. Some even travel without being vaccinated. I wouldn't want to see any child get pneumonia.
I didn't know that pneumonia is very serious, that it can cause meningitis and even death.
Yes, pneumonia is a life-threatening disease caused by bacteria or viruses. The signs are cough, fever, chills, and shortness of breath, which may be accompanied by chest pain when breathing or coughing. Children who survive may experience long-term effects on lung function and increased risk of respiratory conditions like asthma.
Asthma or lung function complication? Oh, that sounds scary. How can I protect my child from this dangerous disease?
The only way for your child to be safe is when your child and all children in your neighborhood are vaccinated with pneumonia vaccine.
I will do that immediately. Where can I take my child for this vaccine? Hope it is not late.
No, you are not late. Pneumonia vaccine and all the other routine vaccines are available at all government health centers in your areas. Tell your neighbors with children between 6 to 14 weeks to be vaccinated.
I'm glad you told me. I will take my child immediately to the nearest health center for pneumonia vaccination.
Bring your child to the nearest health center and protect them from pneumonia and other vaccine-preventable diseases. This message is brought to you by the National Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and South Sudan Women in Medicine.
You tuned in and locked on to the eye of South Sudan, and it's a brand new dawn.
This is iRadio.
The iRadio.
Your eye on South Sudan.
Yes, welcome back from the break. 28 minutes to the top of the hour. It's now time for news headlines. And Lasuba Memo is right here with me in the studio. Good morning, Lasuba.
Good morning, Emmanuel Joseph Akile.
What do you have today at 7?
Well, President Salva Kiir has declared a state of emergency in Warab State and Mayam County of Unity State for a period of 6 months due to deteriorating security situation there. Regional and international envoys to South Sudan have emphasized the urgent need to identify and address the root causes of the country's crisis, particularly the persistent lack of trust and confidence among the parties to the peace agreement. And the South Sudan Islamic Council has launched a major humanitarian distribution of meat across several urban centers in the country as part of Eid al-Adha celebrations.
Right.
This and many more.
Thank you, and happy Eid al-Adha to you, Lasuba.
The same to you. Did you get a piece of meat?
No. Wait, if Good Samaritan may actually come and knock our gate here and say, this is for you, iRadio, of course we'll eat that meat.
Are you a needy?
Not really.
Yeah, so it's meant for the needy.
Yes.
And part of them expressing support and love for the needy, basically.
Right. Thank you.
Which is a great thing.
Right, and I hope you'll also do something similar to that.
Yes, we will.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Lasuba. دعنا وين الأخبار حنلقى التفاصيل بعد 27 دقيقة من الآن.
Your voice matters more than you know. Every time you call iRadio, every time you share your perspective, every time you give your opinion on air, you are practicing freedom of speech. You are protecting media freedom. You are keeping independent radio alive. You are actively participating in the governance process. Many may not realize it, but those calls, comments, and conversations are not just talk. They are acts of public participation, the heartbeat of a free and open society. By speaking up, you help hold leaders accountable, raise community issues, and shape national conversations. Without your voice, the microphone goes silent. Keep calling, keep talking, because when the people speak, democracy breathes.
Your eye on South Sudan. iRadio. Your eye on South South Sudan Radio.
Right, welcome back from the break. 25 minutes now to the top of the hour. You're still listening to the Dawn program here on iRadio, a live broadcast from the capital, Juba, and my name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile. 2 teachers collapsed in the classroom due to hunger in Tombura County. This is according to the State Minister of Information, Grace Apollo Musa, who said the incident happened this week at Renzi Primary School. Now, the teachers, who are government employees, fainted midway through the lesson after going for almost full day without food. Now, the minister says teachers in the state have not been paid salary for more than a year. She added that although the government recently started transferring their salaries, teachers have been unable to withdraw the money because local banks say they don't have cash. Now, let's listen to Information Minister Grace.
I have information to pass across the state and the country. We had accident with that took place the day before yesterday in Tombora, whereby 2 teachers were teaching in the class and they fell down unconscious due to hunger problem. And it is true that our teachers are suffering, we are suffering. We can hear that money is there in the bank, but when you go to the bank manager will tell you there is no money in the bank. Teachers are human beings and they're using the energy to cheat their force. But if they don't have anything to eat, especially in Tombora, whereby they don't have a way of access to get food, they depend on the small amount that they are receiving. Like now, teachers have gone over 1 year without salary. How do you expect them to deliver the good services that we are asking them to do? Without getting salary, it affects them. They are troubled in mind because of that. So I don't know what to say. As a minister, I tried my level best to see that money being released to teachers, but I cannot manage it. Every day I used to go to the bank, and the bank manager is telling us there's no money. If you have like 100 in the bank, you cannot get it. So what do we do?
ده هناك وزيرة الإعلام ودي طبعا وزيرة بتاعة التعليم عفوا في ولاية غرب الاستوائية غريس أبولو بتتكلم للإعلام، وصرحت هناك عن إنه 2 أساتذة والمعلمين هم وقعوا في الفصل عشان هم جعانين. كلام ده كان حصل في مقاطعة بتاع تنبورا، وهي قالت إنه الكلام ده حصل في مدرسة ابتدائية اسمه رينزي، ووفقا لجريس الأساتذة 2 أو المعلمين دول أغمي عليهم وهم موظفين بتاع الحكومة في منتصف أو في زمن هم بيدرسوا بعد ما هم قضوا قريب ليوم كامل بدون أكل. وأضافت الوزيرة أن المعلمين في الولاية ما قاعدين يلقوا مرتبات بتاعهم أو ما لقوا مرتبات بتاعهم لأكثر من سنة. هي برضو أضافت أنه على الرغم من أنه حكومة مؤخرا بدأ يحول رواتب بتاعهم، لكن المعلمين ما قادرين يقدروا عشان هم يسحبوا قروش بتاعهم من البنوك المحلية، لأنه لما تمشي البنك بيقولوا قروش ما في. وهي كانت بتتكلم للإعلام في مدينة يامبيو، وأوضحت وزيرة التعليم برضو إنه المعلمين نقلوهم إلى المستشفى وشخصوهم بسوء التغذية الحاد. Apollo, they are saying the 2 teachers were taken to a hospital and diagnosed with severe malnutrition. What do we do؟ ده كلام بتاع احنا هنعمل شنو أو نعمل شنو في الموضوع ده. قدم رسالة بتاعك على 11 986 986 راديو.
إيمانويل جسر أكيله.
أستاذ مجوك.
نعم أستاذ مجوك يعني.
تفضل.
تهيئ لك يا أخوي، وأنا بقول يا أخوان المسلمين كل عام وأنتم بخير وكل السلام بخير. إيمانويل طبعا يعني ده الحاجات الموسم في جنوب السودان. أنا لما نقول جنوب السودان بلد غرايب وعجائب، لأنه المرة طبعا يعني كان في صعبة برضه كان في جوبا هنا، إنه كان في معلم وقع يعني في أثناء أداء مهام بتاعه في الجو.
تعرف طبعا حاجه موسف، انا ما اعرف ان احنا نقول شنو، لكن ايمانويل نحن كجنوبيين لا نفهم النظامات تصرف من خلفنا الحروفات، الا ان دايرين قياده تعرف معاناه الشعب وتعرف حجم المعاناه بتاع المواطن. يعني الغاية لما نتكلم يعني هو بس فارق، يعني ما بيكون زي الناس الجو خلف الابواب المغلقه بتتكلمين الى مواجهه الحكم دون ان يمروا عبر الاراده الجماهيريه. ده تعرف يا اخي البلد ده يعني هو داير غاية له رؤيه، يعني وعنده خبره ويكون درع للوطن ومحب لشعب دون تمييز قبلي. يعني انت ما ممكن تتجوع يعني الحقل التعليمي ده والحقل الصحي، يعني الطرق، يعني الخدمات الاساسيه للحياه. يعني انت يعني نحن ما دايرين حكومه تخدع شعبها بس بشعارات كاذبه وساكت. في نفس الوقت قاعد يضرب في القبليه تحت ده 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 ده, ده بالفعل. يعني الناس نسوا انه العالم الان مكشوف يا ايمانويل. كويس؟ أنا دايرين قائد يحمل جنوب السودان في قلبه ويعرف معنى السلام ويعرف معنى الإنسانية. ما قائد قلب يعني بس هم مليان بس خطابات نارية، خطابات ما بخدم، خطابات ما يعني ما بحترم حقوق الإنسان، ما بحترم حقوق الآخرين ولا كرامة المواطن. أنت أصلا لما تتجوع أول حاجة المرتبات هذا المعلمين بصرف ده يا إيمانويل يعني ما بوصل 150 ولا 200 جنيه اس اس بي ده بسيط جدا، لكن ما بده. انت متوقع لازم صديقي انا ذات مخلوق، يعني انا اتكلم كيف لان انا بعرف المعاناه. طبعا المعلم انا
نعم
المعلم في المعلومات مطوعين بس لله، لكن بالفعل انا بس بتفق مع الوزيره طيب نعمل شنو. شكرا جزيلا.
اورايت كنا دارين نسالك لكن الخط انقطع على اساس انه الحل شنو، رايك شنو، رسالتك على راديو. Alright, get back to us on the same line 0911 or 22986 عندنا 18 دقيقة لرأس الساعة راديو. Yes. كريستوفر تفضل.
شكرا للبرنامج اللي انتم بتجيبوا. وفعلا برنامج المدرسين الوظف في تومبرا ده وفعلا وما كويس ودي كبر بدل. Lakini risala ile nasa alkulu kutubala le hukuma ya jamaa kana kutubala le hukuma anapun tabani, lakini ukwes keda na istakal sokol kala na istakal sokol tatoria kala na zara kan tilka tazara mas kala na mujinana asen akile ya bisaida na kala kutubala le hukuma anapun tabani.
يعني كدوم نسيبو تدريس.
نعم
كدوم نسيبو شغل الأستاذ يا لهم الرازرة.
أي عشان كده ناكل
لا عيال ده بيلقوا تعليم وين؟
تعليم ما أسا في يوم بيويني كتير مدرسة على أسا شكال ده بروفيكت سكول يا شكال لكن سكول بتوقفوا ما شكال كتير سكول توقفوا مقفول في يوم بيويني كتير
ده عشان ما قد دفع أساتذة؟
ما قد دفع مدرسين هاي.
أوكي.
أنا ذات أنا قوم في ميتا ده أنا ذات شكال في حكومة أنا مراسلة في كوماس لكن كم سنة أنا ما شكالين ما صرفنا ما جروس عشان كده أنا كل ما جراس مكتب أنا ماشي مع الباجدور.
شكرا لك. أهمية بتاع شغل باقي دور ناس ما يتكلوا للشغل بتاع الحكومة بس، لكن الأساتذة ديل هم في يعني امبارح في أساتذة موجودين كانوا في معلمين educationists اللي كانوا موجودين معنا في الاستوديو هنا وقالوا تدريس ده في دم، عشان كده بتلقى إنه الأساتذة من رغم بالتحديات اللي بواجههم لسه هم بواصلوا في التدريس. أي راديو.
Emmanuel Akile.
Yes. تفضل.
Emmanuel Akile طبعا جنوبين قاعد يموت بطريقة العوام. أنا بكلم جنابتين. أول في حاجة كان أصله مبارك في تجات ويا رئيس ده ما حاجة كويس يا Emmanuel Akile.
نعم. Engineer Moses. Hello? معلش انجينير موسيس كنا دارين نسألك او نجيبك في الخط لكن بالموضوع بتاعنا، لكن معلش ارجع تاني واتصل على راديو.
Emmanuel, Joseph Akile, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is me, David from Wow.
Go ahead, David.
My brother, when we talk about this issue of education, first of all, I would like to appreciate those teachers who have collapsed in the classes on their duty. We appreciate them, and those are the committed teachers, and the government is supposed to give them a gift. They did not give up. Some people, they left the profession because government has failed to take care of the education. And you know, those who are opening the eyes of the people, connected the country with the world, are being not being taken responsibility. And these are the people that the government should have to take care of. Now the solution is government should have to make the general education as a private ministry, of which the communities should have to be in charge. The schools are supposed to be divided into two. They should have what is so-called community schools and private schools. And the government should not have government schools in general education. Only public universities or higher education should be for the government. But the general education is supposed to be given to the citizen, of which there must be divided into two only, for community schools and private schools, because they have failed to manage the general education. If you see the results, there are no government schools that are there. If you go now, you go around the country, all the government schools have died out. The teachers have run away from it. And those who are committed now are still collapsing in the classes, and nobody is taking care of. Why do the government have schools in general education? They should have to leave this, because those who did not even leave the profession are now dying in front line as they are teaching. Always government say that education is free, but human life is not circulating in free. That what is so-called blood circulation in human body. It needs something for the teacher to take, and then you will go and teach. If you don't have energy, then what will you do? Now the teachers have collapsed in the class. What do you think is the solution? Is a direct challenge to the government. The schools have failed. Now the government is not managing the life of the teachers. Is not even looking into the problem of general education. So my request is, in 2026, let the general education be for private and community schools. Thank you.
All right, that's his view. This one will depend. It will take time actually for these to be discussed, and this will be referred actually to the Parliament, and we're expecting the Parliament to reopen the next week on Monday. But again, it has been postponed for the second time, and no reason was actually given. Let's go for this commercial break, and we'll continue from there. Don't touch your dial.
Are you ready for lightning fast, reliable internet that keeps your business connected and running smoothly? Look no further. Eden Technologies got you covered. Introducing Starlink, a cutting-edge, low-orbit VSAT solution delivering unmatched speed and reliability for both businesses and homes. Need powerful satellite internet? Eden Technologies got you covered. From C-band VSAT, perfect for high-demand environments, or Ku-band VSAT, for flexible solutions tailored to your operational needs. Choose Eden Tech Fiber Internet for the ultimate choice in connectivity. Upgrade your office with LAN infrastructure and cabling for seamless structured networking, IP phone telephony, and advanced voice over internet protocol services for crystal clear communications. At Eden Technology, we offer ICT solutions, consulting, and expert advice to optimize your digital transformation. Our office is located at Melekia behind Green Rock on Juba. You can as well call us now at 0926 300 511 or 0926 300 501, or visit our website at www.edentechltd.com. Experience the future of connectivity, fast, reliable, and built for you. Eden Technologies Ltd. Get connected. Stay connected. Attention! Cholera is a dangerous disease. It can kill within 3 to 4 hours if not treated. But here is the good news. The oral cholera vaccine is now available to protect you and your family. The oral cholera vaccine is safe and free. Everyone from 1 year and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, can receive the oral cholera vaccine. However, do not give oral cholera vaccine to persons who are sick or have cholera, and children below 1 year. The vaccine is given orally in the mouth and it's usually in 2 dosage, dose 1 and 2, to strengthen your immune against cholera. The second dose is given between 2 weeks and 6 months after the first dose. With 1 dose, you are protected for up to 6 months, and with 2 doses, you are protected for up to 3 years. The oral cholera vaccine protects you from severe cholera symptoms and reduces the spread of cholera in the community. Do not miss to be vaccinated during the oral cholera vaccination campaign happening in your area. Remember, even after getting vaccinated, it's important to continue practicing good hygiene and sanitation. Always treat your drinking water to make it safe. Use a toilet. Never defecate in an open. Wash your hands with clean water and soap, especially before eating and after using the toilet. And if you or anyone you know shows signs of cholera, seek immediate treatment. If you or anyone of your family member or community is experiencing cholera signs and symptoms, report immediately to your nearest health facility, health worker, or community leader for medical assistance. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health or call our toll-free number 6666. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and partners.
You tuned in and locked on to the eye of South Sudan, and it's a brand new dawn.
And welcome back from the break. Now let's read a few comments here before we pick calls and discuss the issue of the challenges facing teachers, especially 2 teachers collapsed in Tambura County this week due to hunger. Peter John wrote on our Facebook, good morning, iRadio. I am watching from Gambela in Ethiopia. James Nicholas saying good morning, watching you live from Gondar University, Ethiopia. My regards to all South Sudanese and also happy Eid al-Adha to Muslims around the world. Lucky Freeman كتب صباح الخير يريد كل الإعلاميين والشعب الجنوبي بمختلف القبائل بألف خير كل الحب والسلام في محلية جندكرو. أصبحنا وقلوبنا مكسورة على فقد الأخت الفاضلة المرنمة ليلي سوزان من بعد فراقها. لم نذوق طعم الفرح. ربنا يعزينا ويعزي الأسرة والكنيسة في جنوب السودان. وطبعا من المتوقع أنه دفن بتاعه يكون الليلة في جنبو، لها الرحمة والمغفرة. Alfred Lukaji wrote, good morning, iRadio and Emmanuel. I'm watching from Lincoln, Nebraska in the United States of America. Isaac Deng is saying, I'm watching you live from Checkpoint, Yay Road. Regards to all iRadio listeners, callers, and happy blessed weekend and Eid al-Adha. Deng Makur wrote on our Facebook, good morning, iRadio. And not only Western Equatoria State, where such things are happening, it's all over South Sudan where and there are no salaries because the cash is actually in the bank as figure and digits. And then Sabitoltin أو سيبيتوتين rather كتب أين دور الحكومة سيد الوزير المالية في ضبط الإيرادات العام في البنك المركزي. Honorable Ayumi said, teachers are the most important people in the world. They equip people with the little knowledge they have, and we need the government to give them support every month. Teachers, without teachers, the government is nothing. That's to say, no government. That's Honorable Ayumi there. Liep Twach said, good morning to all the listeners of iRadio. I'm watching from IDP's camp. And Dude again wrote, Ministry of Finance should stop issuing empty checks without money in the bank. Civil servants have suffered beyond imagination in this country. How do they say the money is out while there is no cash in the bank? Government must deposit money before the check is issued. The Risala Bitao Hinaka. Dobili Christopher said, good morning, Joseph Akile. Good morning to iRadio. Once again, the issue of education here in South Sudan, it has a wonderful moment to government because our government is taking education like a joke. And what will be the solution to the teachers? نعم نرفع المكالمات iRadio.
Hello.
Yes. صباح النور.
بيتر من يكرة.
تفضل طوالي.
لا شوف ده شكل الدولة منهارة أكيد، ده انهيار بتاعت الدولة. قالوا إذا أنت قدرت تعرف الدولة الفاشلة أمشي في تعليمهم. عندهم تعليم معناه الدولة فيه تطور. تعليم منهار، ما في دفعية، ما في عناية، ما في رعاية، ما في اهتمام بالتعليم، معناه البلد ده منهار. نأسف أنه كنا متفقين ناخذ دولة نهاية تكون كده. ده ما كان النية بتاعت الشعب المسكين منذ تأسيسه. يعني مين ربنا خلقنا في جنوب السودان؟ احنا جارين يا إيمانويل، جارين. أجدادنا جروا، أبوهاتنا جروا، احنا جارين ما.
نعم بيتر.
الو.
نعم واصل.
احنا جارين ما معروفين ماشيين وين يا إيمانويل. قدامنا مستقبل شبه في حفرة ما قادرين نطلع من الحفرة ده. ما في امل. النتيجة بتاعته ياهو، لأنه أسسنا الدولة يا إيمانويل بدون مؤسسية. ما وضعنا اللبنة الأساسية بتاعت الدولة على الأرض. بلد بدون فاونديشن، يا عشان كده في المرحلة ده اقتصاد منهار، تعليم منهار، صحة منهار. عشان كده الوزير قال ما عارفين نعمل شنو. إحنا كشعب بتاع جنوب السودان مغلوب. شكرا جزيلا.
Alright, شكرا لك في بيتر. I radio.
Emmanuel Joseph Akile, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Joseph. Welcome.
Thank you. My brother is not surprised as because of the teachers who are collapsed in the school, because we have 17 months without salaries to others. And we have a little money that they could not even one day to feed you. Some are being paid for 50-something thousand. Some are being paid for less than 100,000 if somebody in the higher grade in civil service. And you compare it with mom, and you begin to teach from the beginning of mom up to the end of mom, and you don't have another job. And what so-called by the government capitation grant is something to give teachers welfare. That one is not in place. Salary is not in place. And the order of the government, even during the registration, was implemented. Some schools are requesting parents to contribute something, and the government issue order. There's no something for registration because government is responsible for the school. And general school is being issued by the government to be free. And that free education imposed by the leadership, we know that it is to kill education in the country because will be no teachers working there because they are not irresponsibility of the parents.
Yes, Joseph, now we're looking for the way forward. Solution.
I'm coming for the solution. They are not coming I'm coming for the solution. If there's no education, maybe a kill through that way because number one, education is a part of the problem. Give us 21 years fighting Sudan government. Because education must be number one from the government side.
Yes, Joseph, just go to the solution because we have seconds now to the top of the hour news.
The vulnerability in the country is
Joseph.
Because many people lost their life in guerrilla. What we want from the government,
right?
Let them repair again what so-called free education. We want free education from the government. Thank you.
All right, we want free. According to the, actually in 2023, President Kir reiterated that directives of free and compulsory education. But then teachers continue to face this challenge of lack of payment of salary. وطبعا البنك المركزي قال انه هيجب استراتيجي عشان يشوف موضوع بتاع دفع القروش ده بيكون بطريقه او بيكون بطريقه اسهل، لكن الاستراتيجيه ده حتى البنك المركزي ذاته ما وضع حل أو ما شره إنه حيكون بطريقة ياتو. Remember this week we also talked about the Bank of South Sudan vowing to address the ongoing liquidity shortage affecting banks once and for all, and the bank also said it has a clear strategy aimed at bringing back the large amounts of cash circulating outside the formal banking system. But then they did not even explain this clear strategy. Now it's time for news headlines with Lasuba Memo after this break, and I'll be right back in the second hour of the dawn. Good morning.
To every citizen with a smartphone or social media account, you are an influencer in your own right. The rapid growth of social media usage in South Sudan over the last 3 years means that your post circulation and comments have real-world implications. We must verify information before sharing it. Our legally recognized media houses are the primary sources of credible information in South Sudan. Before you share that forwarded message or post that story, you ask yourself, is this from a reliable source? Am I contributing to truth or spreading misinformation? The Media Authority urges all citizens to rely on legally recognized media houses in South Sudan for credible information. These institutions work tirelessly to verify facts and maintain journalistic integrity. Media houses are encouraged to continue with their diligent work in verifying information before publication. Your role in maintaining the authenticity of news is paramount. The Media Authority advises the government to ensure timely dissemination of authentic, credible information to prevent the spread of misinformation. This is not just about controlling information, it is about protecting our national
harmony. Looking for the perfect radio partner? iRadio is your answer. Why choose iRadio? Here are the 5 compiling reasons.
Trust and reach. iRadio stands as the most trusted and popular radio station in South Sudan. Backed by recent surveys with a loyal listener base, your message will reach a wide audience effectively.
Extensive network. iRadio is not just a radio station. It's a network of interconnected stations. When you partner with iRadio, we'll broadcast your program across multiple locations such as Wow, Awil, Kwajo, Yambio, Bor,
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. President Salva Kiir has declared a state of emergency in Warab State in Mayam County of Unity State for a period of 6 months due to a deteriorating security situation there. Regional and international envoys to South Sudan have emphasized the urgent need to identify and address the root causes of the country's crisis, particularly the persistent lack of trust and confidence among the parties to the peace agreement. And the South Sudan Islamic Council has launched a major humanitarian distribution of meat across several urban centers in the country as part of Eid al-Adha celebrations. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. President Salva Kiir has declared a state of emergency in Warab State and Mayam County of Unity State for a period of 6 months due to a fight in Tonjis County. Apart from clan conflicts, there have been cross-border cattle raiding between Warab and the neighboring Mayam County of Unity State. In mid-May, community leaders, youth, women, sub-chiefs and local authorities in Unity State's Mayam County called for deploying of the SSPDF along their borders with Warab State, Roeng Administrative Area and Rupkona County to control criminals and stop raiders. The proposal was made during a peace conference in Mayam organized by legislators from the state government. Regional and international envoys to South Sudan have emphasized the urgent need to identify and address the root causes of the country's crisis, particularly the persistent lack of trust and confidence among the parties to the peace agreement. In their consultative meeting on the crisis in South Sudan and the way forward in Juba yesterday, participants reaffirmed the importance of respecting South Sudan's sovereignty, unity and political independence, emphasizing that any solutions or recommendations must be South Sudanese-led and owned. The meeting brought together ambassadors and representatives from IGAD member states, the African Union C5 countries, namely South Africa, Nigeria, Algeria, and Chad, as well as the representatives of the international community, including Canada, China, EU, Japan, Netherlands, Norway, Turkey, and UK. The meeting was also attended by the leadership of the African Union, UNMISS, RJMEC, and Citizen VM. They recognized the responsibility of the region and the international community to guide and support genuine efforts towards lasting peace. The meeting also focused on the need to strengthen IGAD's role in facilitating dialogue and peace efforts, as well as the importance of enhanced coordination among IGAD, the African Union, the United Nations Mission in South Sudan, and the wider international community. The envoys and representatives expressed deep concern over the deteriorating security situation marked by repeated violations of the permanent ceasefire. They noted with concern the detention of government officials, including the house arrest of the first vice president, as well as the reported breaches of the responsibility sharing arrangement resulting from dismissals and appointments of officials without consultation as required by the revitalized peace agreement. They further took note of the slow pace of the implementation of critical tasks under the R-axis, particularly the unification of forces, the permanent constitution-making process, and preparations for elections. In some of their recommendations, they said IGAD should take the lead in facilitating de-escalation efforts, with member states urged to adopt a unified voice and regional approach by capitalizing on member states' leverage. However, this should be done in close consultation and coordination with AU and the UN and South Sudanese stakeholders. Participants urge all stakeholders, including detained officials, to be engaged in the process and cautioned against actions that undermine the responsibility sharing arrangement. They recommended for IGAD Chiefs of Defense Staff to review the status of the unification of forces and advise the heads of state and government on the way forward. The participant also said parties should provide a conducive environment for the effective discharge of the mandates of agreement monitoring mechanisms, particularly RJMEC and Citizen VM, including by allowing unhindered access to the latter. There was also a call on IGAD and the AU to align their strategies and apply unified diplomatic effort and engage the parties within the framework of the R-axis. In this regard, participants proposed for envoys to meet regularly to coordinate efforts, assess progress, and make suggestions on the way forward. The South Sudan Islamic Council has launched a major humanitarian distribution of beef across several urban centers in the country as part of Eid al-Adha celebrations. Speaking to iRadio during morning prayers in Juba yesterday, Sheikh Abdallah Baraj, the Secretary General of the Islamic Council, announced that over 3,000 bulls donated by the Turkish government were distributed. He said the meat has been distributed to the needy in Juba, Wau, Awil, Kwajok, and Malakal. Sheikh Baraj said that 14 bulls were slaughtered in Juba alone, with distribution centers set up across the city to ensure smooth and equitable sharing. He added that there are many gifts presented by charitable people on Eid. This year's distribution emphasizes compassion, interfaith harmony, and support for vulnerable communities across South Sudan. Eid al-Adha, also known as a festival of sacrifice, is one of the most important events on the Islamic calendar. It commemorates the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son in obedience to God. This is iRadio Morning News. And on the international stage, the World Bank says it is lifting a ban on loans to Uganda that it had put in place 2 years ago when the country passed a draconian new law against LGBTQ people. In 2023, Uganda voted in some of the world's hardest anti-homosexual legislation, meaning that anybody engaging in certain same-sex acts can be sentenced to death. Since then, hundreds of people have been evicted from their homes, subjected to violence, or arrested because of their sexuality, according to Uganda's Human Rights Awareness and Promotion Forum. The Central African nation of Chad says it is suspending all visas to U.S. citizens as a matter of reciprocity after learning that it is one of a dozen countries whose nationals are banned from traveling to the U.S. President Mohamed Idris Deby Itno posted on a Facebook post in French on Thursday that Chad has neither plans to offer nor billions of dollars to give, but Chad has its dignity and pride. Africa is the continent worst affected by the travel ban announced by U.S. President Donald Trump, with 7 of the 12 countries on the list. It is set to come into effect on Monday. This is iRadio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here is the recap of the headlines. President Salva Kiir has declared a state of emergency in Warab State and Mayam County of Unity State for a period of 6 months due to a deteriorating security situation there. Regional and international envoys to South Sudan have emphasized the urgent need to identify and address the root causes of the country's crisis, particularly the persistent lack of trust and confidence among the parties to the agreement. And the South Sudan Islamic Council has launched a major humanitarian distribution of meat across several urban centers in the country as part of Eid al-Adha celebrations. That's the end of iRadio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 870. It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 8 o'clock on the Suba Memo. Thanks for listening.